to combat poor literacy levels amongst young children and inspire a reading culture on the Cape Flats. Local authors have come together for the Cape Flats Book Festival. The brainchild of poet and author Athol Williams is in its sophomore edition in Mitchell's Plain this weekend. The event boasts an acclaimed lineup of writers, poets, creatives and scholars to promote literature and literacy, especially for a younger audience. Let's take you live to that event currently underway. Natalie, Malgas, our reporter covering the bulk of this event. Natalie, very good evening, good morning to you rather. I mean, we know the importance of inspiring a reading culture in South Africa because a lot of the research has spoken to children failing to read, to understand, and merely reading without knowing what exactly it is that they're reading. Talk to us about the importance and perhaps how this fantastic event came about.
Well, you're right, Mpo. In fact, some shocking statistics have already been revealed in an array of studies, including some conducted by the leading universities in South Africa, that as many as 78% of grade 4s are unable to read with comprehension. And that's as a result of a number of different factors, but not least of which the fact that a reading culture isn't prevalent in many homes of South Africa. So this brainchild of the Williams family, in fact, the organization that put this festival together is called Read to Rise. The Williams family have all come together to create this initiative to encourage reading, particularly among a younger audience and from their home community here in Mitchell's Plain. This is the second year that this festival is running. It started in 2019. Of course, there were some interruptions with the pandemic in 2020 and 2021. This is the second year that it's running. We're at the West End Primary School here in Lentig here in Mitchell's Plain. The event was only supposed to start at around 10 o'clock, but already there's a buzz of young people, of their parents who've brought the grandparents along. You can already hear the buzz in the background and sense that excitement. Some of the stalls have already been set up. Many of the books are already being exhibited, and we're expecting to see several and hear from several authors, poets and scholars who'll be sharing tales with the children in some of the reading pockets across this premises. But to give us a little bit more detail about what exactly we can expect, we've got Athol Williams of Read to Rise. Athol, let's step in a little closer here for us. You started this organization with your brother. Why did you come up with this initiative?
So with Read to Rise, as we know, we've identified a literacy issue. Athol Williams and Karen Locke were the founders of the organization, and coming from Mitchell's Plain. You know, initially we started this by giving back to the community, and for the past 9 years we've been going around inspiring children, giving them access to brand new books. We believe reading starts at home, and that is why we are giving children access to books so that they can read at home, and it's their books to keep.
What are some of the books that are already on exhibit here now and that we can expect to see during the course of this festival, because it runs the entire weekend long, right?
Yeah. So we got a list of book publishers, book shops here. We got all the authors on the program, the Yusuf Daniels, Rodney Brown. We got all Athol's books over here. So all the authors' books are on display here at the various bookshops, the various stalls, and they are available for sale.
What would you like to see happen? Because book festivals happen across Cape Town. In the Winelands, there's a prominent book festival that happens every year. This one here in Mitchell's Plain has already garnered quite a crowd, and we're not even officially starting yet. What would you like to see happen from this festival? What would you like to inspire, particularly in the young readers?
So as you know, these festivals are also always associated with the elite areas, and that's why we thought, why not have our own festival on the Cape Flats? And we want to give our people this opportunity to be exposed to the top authors, to be exposed to the publishers, with the hope that one day they too would write their story. My hope is for these children and adults to leave here buzzing, inspired, and they should be motivated. You know, something must change them inside after this weekend.
Something must change them inside after this weekend. Thank you, Athol. Mpo, as you heard from the festival organizer, Athol Williams, that there very much is this expectation that once you sit down and take a listen to some of the stories, interact with some of the readers, some prominent names that will be making their way here over the course of this weekend, including, I understand, the Premier of the Western Cape, Alan Winde, who's expected to arrive in the next few minutes. The idea is very much that you get transfixed and taken away to another world and get encouraged by this reading culture that Read to Rise is trying to inspire here in Mitchell's Plain.
So as you talk about the culture, I suppose the types of books and authors that are there is also of significance, especially looking at the new emerging crop of writers who've come out to tell stories that are relevant to young people, black young people, and, you know, across the racial profiles, encouraging young people to embrace and be the best they can be.
To that point, Mpo, just behind me is a stall that if I step out of shot real quick and just have my cameraman zoom into the books on display, quite prominently you'll notice on the cover of each of those books on display are young people of color, stories of identity, stories of how, you know, empowerment, how they want to feel, how they want to articulate their voices and assert themselves in their world. In fact, one of the books on display here is actually written by a former Miss South Africa, Shudu Finds Her Magic. This is what this festival is about, to encourage that magic in the young readers where they can, if, for example, they find themselves in a space where they can't articulate their feelings just yet, or they don't know their identity just yet, this is the kind of space and the kind of people they want to encourage young people to be moving with, so that they too are in a better place to articulate their feelings, in a better place to articulate their identity, and take up that space, as we hear from some of the prominent figures who are expected to make their way here over the course of the weekend.
Very well. A very exciting lineup indeed. Let's leave it there for now. Natalie, Malgas, our reporter, giving us a sense of what this book fair is about as it gets underway.